Hi folks, and welcome back to the Grumpy Gamer channel. That's it, you guessed it. This is that channel where you get to see this old git talk about modern games. Well, we're back to in-car comments, folks. And for today, the first thing I want to discuss is this big rumor going around that Xbox games are coming to PlayStation. Now, as I'm sure you can understand, there's a lot of people on the Xbox side losing their mind over this one, literally having a meltdown, worrying that some Xbox games are coming to PlayStation. Then we've got some of the people on the Xbox side laughing, saying, yeah, we all knew the PlayStation ponies, as they call them, want to play our games. I've even heard, actually, now don't forget, these are all rumors, folks. You may have seen a lot of it on social media already, but they're only rumors. I haven't seen anything solid, but there is a rumor going around because we've already got Hi-Fi Rush going to the Switch. I know that one. And there's even talk about Starfield coming to the PlayStation. So this got me thinking, really, would Starfield actually do that well on PlayStation? Personally, I don't think so. I mean, these are only my personal opinions, folks, when it comes to Starfield. I wasn't massively impressed by it. To me, it's very much similar to their older games. I mean, it's won an innovation award. I have no idea how that's happened because I don't see anywhere in that game that was innovating. I just really don't. But that's just my opinion, folks. I mean, other people may have different opinions, but I really don't see any groundbreaking innovation with that game. So a lot of people are saying that it won that was just a troll vote, but maybe not, who knows. But back to the actual subject. Would it do well on PlayStation? Like I say, I have my doubts. I honestly believe the only reason why this game did well at the time on Xbox is, one, it came straight to Game Pass. So, well, you know, you're going to play it anyway, aren't you? You're already paying your subscription. You can have a go with it and see what you think. And two, at the time, yeah, there wasn't really much else coming out on Xbox, let's face it. I mean, if you look at the exclusives that have come out this generation for Xbox, they've been pretty dire. You know, Halo Infinite was supposed to be coming out on release. It never did because the players had a meltdown when they saw what the new Halo Infinite was going to look like. So they had to go right back to the drawing board and revamp it all to give it actual up-to-date graphics. And the release of it was shocking, with certain parts of the game not even in there that should be. So Halo Infinite had a pretty dodgy release, and I don't think it's ever really recovered from that. Halo for me is definitely not my kind of game anyway. I played the original 2, 3, and I loved the first one because I'd never played a game like it on the original Xbox. And then Halo 2 come out and it was pretty much the same, and Halo 3, and then I just sort of waned off. Just not my kind of games really anymore. So you got Halo Infinite. What else have you got? Redfall, which was a complete car crash. That was horrific. Starfield. So these were supposedly the big games. You got Forza Motorsport. But again, I used to like Forza a lot. I played a lot of it on the 360. But because obviously I've got the VR, it's GT7 for me all day long in my sim rig. There's just no comparison. I don't really play any other racing games, to be honest with you. So Forza's not really going to do much for me. And I don't think it'll do too much for Sony players in general because of GT7. But there we go. So what do you think, folks? Do you think Xbox games are going to be coming to PlayStation? And do you believe the rumor that Starfield's going to be coming? Like I say, I don't know. And even if it does, I don't think it's going to do that well because you're going to have to pay for it. And I don't think many Sony players are going to punt 70 quid on this game. Again, I might be wrong. This is just my take on this, folks. But I don't think it's going to do as well as it did on Xbox. I understand what Xbox is trying to do. As you know, they want to get their games on everything from a phone to a TV anything at all. The more they can get people signing up to Game Pass, the better. But then the other option then that made me sort of ponder for a while is, okay, so there's talk of them bringing Xbox games to PlayStation. Well, what about down the line if they bring Game Pass to PlayStation? Can you see that being a thing? I don't know. I really don't know, but I can see it in the future. So literally, Game Pass will just be another app on your console, and you've got to sign up for that as well. So you'll have PlayStation you've got to sign up for, and then Game Pass if you want to play all the exclusive Xbox games. Because in the next few years, obviously after this acquisition, this $70 billion acquisition, they have got stacks and stacks of IPs under their belt now that they can draw on and just pump out loads of games. So maybe that'll happen in the future. Maybe Game Pass will come to the PlayStation. Who knows? But again, these are just my thoughts, folks. I could be way off base with all of it. We may only get a couple of games come across from Xbox, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really excite me that much anyway. There isn't anything since release really on the Xbox that excites me, and that's just the way it is. I've said before, if there were more games on Xbox, or especially if Xbox had VR, then I would play it more, I'm sure. But yeah, it's still just not for me at the minute. There's not enough to get me playing on Xbox really at all at the moment. But let me know what you think, folks, of this rumor of Xbox games coming to PlayStation. Let me know whether you think it's a good idea, bad idea, where you think it's going to take us in the future. Now, before I go, a couple of things I just want to mention. That on Monday the 15th, so we're on Wednesday now, so we've only got a few more days to go, and then Vertigo 2 comes out for the PSVR 2. I've seen some reviews already. People have played it, and a few have said that there are a few glitches and bugs and people sort of disappearing and hands and weapons getting stuck in things, and one had a game-breaking bug where he had to go right back to the beginning of the level and redo it. Now, this apparently is obviously a pre-build. This is before release date, so it's an older build of the game the reviewers have been playing. Apparently, there is going to be a day one patch, so it might iron out all of those issues. Now, for me, I've pre-ordered the disc version from my local game store, and I think that comes out February the 9th. So I'm going to check next Monday the 15th and see if I hear of any more issues, whether there is a day one patch that rectifies all that. If there isn't, then I'm more than likely going to wait until February the 9th and get the disc version, because then I can play it and then I can trade it if need be. When it comes to this game, I've heard so many good things about it. Everybody's raving about the gameplay. They say the campaign's about 12 hours long, so I know for me that's going to last me a good 15 hours, because as you know, I like to take my time with games. So I'm only hearing good things, although I don't know whether I'm massively excited for it. And the main reason for that is, I've seen a lot of gameplay online, and yes, the graphics look very nice. They look very clean. It's the overall atmosphere I see of the game that doesn't really pull me in as yet. I mean, there's some weird enemies that like blob-like enemies. They look like they're out of a Disney Pixar cartoon. So I'm not sure how I'm going to gel with it. But like I said, I am going to get it, but I have my reservations as yet as whether it's actually going to be a game for me. And to be fair, if I didn't hear such good reviews on it and people raving about how good the gameplay and how good an experience it is, then I would probably leave it alone. But make no mistake, when I do get it, I shall let you know exactly what I think of the game. Now, my last point I wanted to discuss was, don't forget, also on the 19th of this month, so what's that, next Friday, the remaster of The Last of Us Part 2 comes out. Now, I've already got the PS4 base game, so I'm just going to pay the 10 quid to upgrade to it. Am I going to go through the whole campaign again? If I did that, I'd go back and play The Last of Us Part 1 again and do the two together. I'm paying the £10 mainly just for the roguelike game mode called No Return, I think. That really interests me. And also the lost levels, they interest me. Hopefully you can play those on their own. Hopefully you don't have to go through the whole story. But as for the remaster bit, did it really need remastering yet? No, I don't think so. The graphics were great anyway, but I'll be interested to see how they've improved. If you remember, a little while ago I did a video showing the comparisons between the standard PS4 version and the new remastered PS5 version, and there was literally no difference. I know I was looking at it on a small screen, so it'll be interesting to see what it's going to be like on the telly. But yeah, I'll be picking it up for the 10 quid. It's a no-brainer for me. So what do you think, folks? Are you going to be picking up The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered? Have you got the game already? Are you just going to pay the £10? Or if you've never played it before, are you going to be picking it up this time? Let me know, like I say, down in the comments. And before I finally go, folks, do me a favor, please. Just give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And if you can, share it with people you know who might be interested in my nonsense content. So until next time, I shall see you guys on the other side. Adios.